You know, we see five-star reviews all the time, but have you ever stopped to wonder what really makes them happen? Is it just luck? Nope, there's a science to it. And today, we're going to put one under the microscope and figure out the exact formula. Let's get into it. Okay, so this right here, this is our case study. It's a review from a customer for a spot in Miami. And yeah, at first glance, it just looks like a really nice, glowing review, right? But if you really look at it, it's more than that. It's basically a roadmap, a recipe for creating an experience so awesome that people just have to talk about it. So that's the million-dollar question, right? How do you go from just good to unforgettable? Well, to figure that out, we've got to break this thing down. What we're going to do is break this review down into what I like to call the 3 pillars of praise. Once you see these pillars, you'll get how they all lock together to build a totally solid 5-star experience. And it all starts right at the beginning. Listen to how this review starts. Again, just that one little word tells you so much. This isn't some first-timer. This is a repeat customer. They're not just happy, they're loyal. That tells you right away that the great experience they had wasn't just a fluke. So, what was it that made them come back in the first place? All right, pillar number 1, the product. In this case, it's the food. I mean, this is the whole reason the customer is even there. You can have the friendliest staff on the planet, but if the main event, the product, isn't great, then what's the point? So the customer starts off pretty general, the food was delicious, which is awesome, but then they zoom in. They call out the Wahoo fish dip as fantastic. That little detail is so important because it shows you something really stood out. It wasn't just a good meal, it was a meal with a highlight. And right there, you see the power of having a signature item. They mention the mahi tacos and the Wahoo fish dip. These aren't just things on a menu anymore, they're actual memories. These are the specific dishes they're gonna go tell their friends about. But, a great product isn't the whole story. Okay, let's talk about pillar number 2, the human element. This is where a good time becomes a great time. You can literally see the review pivot from talking about the what, the food, to talking about the who. Alex. Just one name. That's all it takes. Think about the incredible impact one person can have. They didn't just say, our server was good. They remembered his name. That's huge. And listen to this. The customer connects Alex's actions directly to how they felt. He was very accommodating, which made the experience so much better. So Alex wasn't just bringing plates to the table, he was actively making their whole day better. And right here, the customer basically gives us a definition of what amazing service feels like. It wasn't about being fast or super formal. It was all about a vibe. Super friendly, easy, enjoyable. Alex basically just made everything smooth and fun. That is the secret sauce. So, okay, we've got a fantastic product, we've got an amazing person. But there's one more piece to this puzzle. Our third and final pillar is the place itself, the environment, the atmosphere. This is the stage where the whole thing plays out. And check out the details they noticed. Comfy tables, they love the view. But this last part, this is the kicker. They said the atmosphere made the food taste even better. So the place wasn't just a container for the experience, it actually made it better. Everything was working together. And there it is. That's the formula pulled right out of the review. It's like a perfect 3-part harmony, right? You need a standout product, you need exceptional people, and you need an unforgettable place. When you get all 3 of those things clicking at the same time, that's when the magic happens. I mean, the customer says it perfectly right here. Everything just came together. That's not an accident, That's what happens when you nail the product, the people, and the place. That's the formula in action. So what's the big reward for getting this formula so right? It's not just about getting a nice 5-star review online. It's about earning the most valuable thing any business can have: real, honest-to-goodness customer loyalty. And here's your proof. This last line, "will definitely be coming back," that's so much more than just a nice comment. It's a promise. That's the sound of a customer you've won over for the long haul. So, as we wrap this up, I want you to think about your own business, or even just places you love. Go look at your latest feedback. Can you spot those 3 pillars? Because a 5-star review isn't just a rating. It's a story about everything that went right. The real question is, what story is your feedback telling?